Thanks for tuning in to the Sam Show on Auntie Tay's YouTube channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today we are doing a project that has been on my to-do list for, like a decade. Pretty much ever since I got my sewing machine, I have wanted to make it a new cover because the one that it came with, it's just not cute. And it's one of those things that I never got to, and I finally did it, and it was really fun to do. It was a learning process that I'm hoping to teach you so you guys can play around and get creative with it. Maybe you have some tips and tricks for me, but I'm so happy that you are here. Be sure to subscribe to Auntie Tay's YouTube channel. Maybe give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and leave a comment if you do have any tips and tricks for me, or if you learned something new, because I'd really like to know. So let's go change my cover because it needs it. Hey everyone, it's Sam from the Auntie Tay team, and you're watching The Sam Show. Let's go make some fun things. This is the current situation. As you can see, it's boring and plain and the cheapest quality cover, but it served its purpose. So all I did was measure all the sides. You can see it's just a bunch of squares, or I guess rectangles, and I measured everything out so I knew how many sheets of the seamless pattern of the Auntie Tay design I was going to need for sublimation. And my sublimation printer is only an 8.5 by 11, so it took a lot of sheets. I use the A-Sub paper for sublimation, and all I do for making the seamless pattern a little bit bigger is I trim along one edge and then I tape it with heat tape from the back. The seamless patterns can be found on Auntie Tay's website under design elements. You can also find them on Sublimation. Just make sure when you tape everything that it lines up correctly, and I have found that taping works the best. If you tape together the pieces of sublimation paper, it is a lot more consistent of a design, especially when you're working with a smaller printer size. I did a lot of experimenting, and you'll see some of my failures, but taping your sheets together was the best that I found like this. For the fabric that I'm using, it is 100% polyester tablecloth I got on Amazon. I do not recommend. It is really thin and hard to work with. If you can, get poplin from Fabric Wholesale Direct. It's super affordable and a lot easier to work with, but that's what I used for this project. Is from Amazon, and make sure you have parchment paper to protect your surface and heat up your heat press. I am not super picky on the temperature as long as it's over 360 degrees and I'm heating it for over about 40 to 50 seconds. I'm not super picky on it, but this is where I really experimented. You can see I did like a sheet at a time. I tried to line it up, and it was hard. My heat press is a Better Sub heat press. It's a 15 by 15, so I knew I was gonna have lines in it somewhere, but I have found I had the least amount of lines when I taped together 2 printed pages, and then I did my best to line it up on my heat press, but I'm gonna have lines. This is where I would love to hear tips if you guys have a better way of doing this. I thought about using my Cricut Easy Press so I could do it by hand, but I was really worried about the fabric shifting, especially as you can see this fabric gets wrinkled so easily, and that was also a reason it was harder to work with and why I like using the poplin fabric now versus using this tablecloth. So then I just carefully shifted the fabric while I, was very cautious of the heat press. It's very hot. This was the best way. So see how I have 2 pages together. I taped it along the edge. Be very careful with your heat press. This is what's hard, is you have to get in there and you don't want to shift your fabric too much. But this one turned out the best, where I had it 2 taped together and I heated it up for about 50 seconds. I cut out all that downtime because it's a little bit repetitive. I just wanted to show you guys how I did this and, what worked and what didn't work. And my sheet was longer than what my heat press is, so I had to shift it back a little bit. This is where heat tape is your friend. Just be careful with what you're doing and try to keep the fabric from shifting so you don't get a lot of ghosting. Like I said, it wasn't perfect, but it was a learning process for me and it still turned out pretty cute. I did try using a big taped together sheet, and this really didn't work because my heat press wasn't big enough. But I thought I would show you guys just so you know what I did and I could give you feedback on what I liked and what I didn't. So this one wasn't my favorite. My favorite was just the 2 sheets taped together because it fit on my heat press the best and I had the best results from it. But this option isn't a bad idea if you have a bigger heat press. This would probably work together pretty well if you had a bigger heat press. Since the fabric is so thin, I used a Pellon Shirt Tailor 950F stabilizer, and just per the instructions, I ironed it on the back of my sublimated fabric with an iron. So this was just going to give it a little bit more structure and hold up a little bit better, especially because the polyester is really thin. Now, you probably would have to use a stabilizer no matter what, but this is what I used, and just keep ironing until it's all ironed down. Then I cut out my pieces and I gave myself a 1/4 inch seam allowance on every side. So whatever the side was, I added a 1/4 of an inch on each side. So a 1/2 inch total onto each strip. For the bulk of the cover, it had like a top part to it, but I didn't want to cut a separate top part. So all I did was measure where that top part is, and using my Auntie Tay partner Marvy fabric pen, I mark where I want to sew because I still want to have a stitch line. It will give it a little bit more finished look and it will kind of hold it in place a little bit better. It'll give it that boxy look. So I'm just marking that because I didn't want to cut an extra piece for that top piece when I already had the piece of sublimated fabric already together. So then I took my pieces, pinned them together, and sewed them together. Nothing really fancy. I just did a straight stitch, about a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance because that's how much extra I added on. So after the side panels were connected and everything was done, I went around the edge and folded about a 1/4 of an inch all the way around to hem it because polyester frays like crazy. And here is my gorgeous sewing machine, but yes, we have to cover it. It's a good thing for maintenance to cover it, and this is how it turned out. I think it's really cute, but I wanted to add something to it, so I used HTV and an Auntie Tay Hobbies file, and it says good things come to those who make. It did wrinkle the fabric, and I think it's because I had the heat press a little bit higher than I should, but all in all, it was a fun learning experience. I think it turned out really cute, and it was pretty simple way to dress up something that's been on my list for 10 years. Thank you so much for watching. Please Give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. I want to know all the things. Thanks, guys. See you next time.